But this jungle, this area is actually a private area. It is 8 acres of happiness, bliss, peace, and all the right ingredients that you probably need to become a world champion. This is the place where Harith Noah lives and practices and eats. He lives in a place like this and sits with his dogs like this. Hi Harith.
Hi.
This is, I think, God's own place, and probably he is God's own child. So guys, if you don't know, this is Harith Noah, and most of you probably know him as the guy who participated in Dakar and the guy who finished Dakar at the highest place yet by any Indian. Am I right?
Yeah.
So even his dogs appreciate that, they know that. You are a Keralite, right?
Yeah.
You've been born here and brought up here?
No, I was born in Germany and then I moved here when I was like 3 years old, 2.5.
Oh, so wie heißen Sie?
Harith Noah.
All right, so I've studied German a little bit and in
Yeah.
school for 2 years. So das ist gut, das ist gut. Yeah. Okay, you were born in Germany, where?
In Cologne.
Ah, Cologne, Intermot. Ah, right, okay. So that's why speed is in your genes, right? And probably you were born there.
I don't know, maybe.
XBHP was the only media community to have a stall over there at Cologne at the Intermot. If I ask you simply, who is Harith Noah? How would you describe yourself?
Well, I am just a person who rides 2 wheels and tries to go as fast as I can.
What is this place, where we are in? It's like heaven. It's like a, movie set for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it's pretty chill place, definitely quiet. It's a good place to, focus and train. I mean, it has its advantages as well as disadvantages sometimes, but yeah, I think it's definitely helped me progress in my career. Most of my training I did here up until now, of course some also in Europe, but definitely one of the important parts of my career, staying here and training here.
You've got your own private track, which we will see in a little while, and if you hear all those birds, they're just actually cheering for Harith. Like, get up man, show us your stuff, something like that. You said that there are some disadvantages. So what is that?
The connection to other people, or even if you say, for example, to get professional physiotherapy around here, it's a little complicated.
Do you want to show us how you work out?
Yeah, we'll go to the gym first.
Okay, all right. I want to see those famous six-pack abs. This is one of the things that it takes to be a champion. Obviously, you have to be physically fit.
Yeah.
What do you do to be fit mentally?
Well, I've been working with a mental coach since more than 2 years now.
You said mental coach.
Yeah.
Oh, there's something like that?
Yeah. So basically, I mean, it's not as complicated as it sounds. There are no magic recipes, but it's just more like to talk to someone about everything and his feedback, because he's a professional. Mostly I do my training by myself, like fitness training. But when it comes to the mental part, I think especially for a race like a Dakar, it's very important to stay focused mentally and stay motivated and stuff like that.
Can you take us around quickly, what kind of stuff you have in your gym, especially that cycle over there?
Yeah, sure. It's just like barbell, dumbbell, and a lot of kettlebell stuff.
Okay.
I mix it up depending on how I feel. I don't have a planned program per se. The only thing which I do very regularly is cycling. So the bike, it's a Scott Addict IRC. It's a race bike with race geometry, very light. With the COVID and everything and the rain, I ride a lot indoor. So yeah, indoor I have a trainer. It's a smart trainer, and it's very easy to do programs on it because it resists your power, as well as I ride on Zwift. It's an app, so it's like a video game with like different roads. You can go left, right, and there will always be at least 6,000 people online at the same time. So they're all real people cycling somewhere in the world on a trainer like this. So you'll be cycling against them, or you can, if you want, you can talk to them while you cycle and stuff like that. So it's just, it makes indoor cycling a little more
Fun.
The pedals are very important for me, especially they measure power, and they measure it on individually, like left and right.
So they're pressure sensitive.
Yes.
Okay.
So when I go outside, especially I had an ACL surgery, so after that I got these to know that I'm not pushing too much with the other side.
Okay.
So when I do a ride, I know like, okay, I'm pushing too much with one side than the other side. So I kind of like make it even. Smart trainer, you can put any even a mountain bike and any cycle.
So after you do your workout, you like to chill out, like playing games?
Yeah, I do play a little bit. I have like, I think 3 or 4 games, not a lot. I bought it for the Dakar game. So there is a Dakar game. So it's an open world, open tracks, and you have to navigate with the road book. So it's a very good training.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So now, Harith, what do you suggest? What do we do now?
Well, now I think I'll just freshen up, and I will show you around a little more, the track and stuff, and later we go and ride.
All right. Not we means like he. All right, let's go. Harith, have you ever had a crash which was like really bad?
Yeah, for sure. Like even this Dakar, I had a pretty bad crash in stage 4. I hit like a rock and I flew, and after that I blacked out for some time. So I was definitely like, crashes like that kind of like makes you question why you do it for some time, not for too long. But yeah, that's one of the bad crashes. But you shouldn't be thinking about a crash or what can happen.
Yeah.
But at the back of your head, back of the head, you know that anything can happen. But I think almost like all athletes are aware of it.
Why is there no one from India which is like at the top of motorsports? I mean, you say MotoGP, Dakar, or any other Pikes Peak, or any other small or big format.
We have to start young, that's definitely one thing. I mean, I started racing and riding when I was 16. So that's, the people outside, like if you take any of the top 5 at the Dakar, for example, they all started riding when they were probably 3 and started racing when they were 6. So, it's a big step ahead of, of me. But I mean, obviously it's getting better now. I think in India also, if you take Supercross or Motocross, there are junior categories where there are kids, I think from 12, even younger maybe, who are already racing. So we are going in the right direction, but yeah, it will just take more time. And yeah, I think we have to just start a little younger, and also just be more dedicated. And also now at the Dakar, there's TVS Racing, the first manufacturer to take part at the Dakar from India. So there's also opportunity. I think it's very much easier to try to work towards something when you have a goal. Like, when you see, okay, if I do good, I can join TVS and I can go for the Dakar, for example.
We came walking to his garage where this bike is here, which is absolutely beautiful and a little overwhelming for a person like me who does not do motocross or off-roading. So can you tell me what kind of motorcycle is it?
Yeah, so this is a RTR 450 FX. It's my practice bike. Tuned for training on like Supercross, motocross kind of tracks. I just got the suspension done. So it's not the one you race on the Dakar, because that is bigger, it has more fuel, it has 2 more fuel tanks, and the whole thing is different, except a little bit of the engine and the frame. So like this is just like a practice bike. It's similar to the one I used for the Indian Supercross Championship, but it's just 110 kilos, I think, 113.
Wow. And it's like 4-stroke.
Yeah, 4-stroke.
And what is the tank capacity here?
This is, I think, 11 liters or something like that. The Dakar bike is 33.
So this is built in-house by TVS?
They work with a French brand called Sherco. So it's like a prototype.
The suspension is from which company?
This is from KYB.
And I noticed that this also has got a light.
Yeah.
So basically you can also probably do trail riding.
Yeah.
These kind of motorcycles right now from any Indian manufacturer, and the ones which are sold by, you know, other brands which are not Indian, they are very expensive. So do you think that this technology, this, you know, your experience can percolate down and a production version can come out?
Yeah, I mean, in the future, definitely, I think it is definitely possible. All this technology, like, you know, whatever we race with, small details, what, you know, if we get a problem or something, that's what they implement on even their scooters. When you race, you push the engine to the limits, and then you kind of can find out what kind of problems happen to the engine or anything related to the bike. So that they kind of fix for the production. So the people who buy the bike get like a top bike, you know.
You know, I saw you pulling wheelies on the beach, and you know, it must be a lot of fun doing that when you have that kind of control.
For sure, yeah, it's fun, definitely. It's a blessing to have a place like this, to ride here and at the beach also, to, you know, go train.
How is it to ride in the Dakar?
It's difficult to explain in words. It's like, because I come from a supercross background, you know, I raced supercross in India, and then when I took part in the first Dakar, I like completely fell in love with the Dakar, and you know how the whole, like, because it's so long, it's like 13 days and it feels like forever, and you ride through, so beautiful to like see all the different places, the landscapes, the people, and of course to try to go as fast over these thousands of kilometers with the road book in the front. It's definitely challenging, and I like that challenge, you know. I like every time I go for the Dakar, I'm challenging myself to my limits in fitness wise, mentally, and to my capabilities. It's pretty safe. There are like beeps, so if the car is coming, you get like a beep from the GPS system.
Okay.
So you know that some car is coming, you know. So you kind of have to give way, kind of, because they are faster.
I thought that the bikes would be faster.
It depends, of course. Like in the dunes, you can be faster than the cars, but if it's a flat place, the cars are faster. Top speed, the cars are faster.
Yeah. So what is the most difficult part of the Dakar? Like,
I think the dunes, definitely, because I mean, I don't train on the dunes. There are no dunes around here, so it's something I always kind of like get used to throughout the Dakar. And a little bit of like, also a little difficult for me are like rocks and stuff like that, but that I'm getting better at. And the things that I'm good at is like hard pack, slippery, you know, like
right.
base, strong base kind of places.
What is this first step in India?
Obviously, when you start racing, it's because you like riding the bike off-road. I mean, it's fun. So you have to stay, you know, you have to think like that, like, you know, it's fun, I do it for fun. And you can check which are the races, upcoming races, on the website of FMFCI.
Okay.
That's the Federation of Motorsports in India. And of course, you need a license to race. You don't have to be 18. You can. That I thought when I started racing, I have to be 18.
Oh.
You have to be 18 when you ride rallies in India, but if you ride supercross, you can ride even if you're younger. So you have to get a license and of course a bike, and then you can go, you know, and try to have fun. And once, you know, you start having fun, obviously you will grow and you will improve your skills and you will get better.
Road racers, like they, like for example, Valentino Rossi, you know, he's the most famous one, who's got his ranch. So they practice off-road, like flat track and stuff like that.
When they train off-road, especially dirt, not jumps, not especially, like more like drifting and stuff, so it improves them, it makes them more comfortable when they slip or when they're sliding, you know. Okay. Because generally, like the beginners, when they race road racing, they kind of like get kind of little unsure once this, because you're supposed to ride with full grip, right? So once it starts slipping or sliding, you're like, oh,
yeah,
easy. So once you get used to that, you know, it's a little more easier, because that does happen when you ride on the road. But like I said, I'm not a road racing expert. I haven't tried to ride on a track, but maybe I will. I have an RR there, so I mean the 310 TVS.
We'll take the covers off that as well. Wow, look at that. I mean, it's like brand new, like it's cleaner than in a showroom. Look at this. Isn't this a beautiful motorcycle? This is like crazy. You know, we have done so much stuff with the RR 310, and every time I see it, It's like, and this logo, this TVS insignia here, if you see, this is the kind of shot I got on the beach with Harith doing a wheelie. I think now it's time for Harith to show his magic on the track. Should we go?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, so this is where Harith practices, and this is inside where he lives, the property, this whole track. So Harith, who built this? Like, who thought of the layout and everything?
Myself.
Yourself, okay.
I mean, I didn't do it, another JCB guy, but
No, of course, the design.
this is a supercross track,
Okay,
I would say. So I actually built it more for racing in India.
okay,
So, but it's like I said, like in the Dakar, you ride through like different terrains, right?
okay.
And so every kind of training helps. And
This is pretty big. But isn't this too less for a 450?
actually, I ride the track in second gear, except one place I put third. But otherwise, it's all. I can even keep it in second if I want.
Okay.
So it's all second gear. So it's a little tight, but it's good training. It's good to stay focused. Yeah, it's very technical.
Very technical. Oh, that's amazing. So
Not so high speed, but very technical.
So let's see some action, and of course I'll try to capture him with the R3, which is one of the world's fastest cameras. Let's see what happens. And Harith, let's go.
Yep.
So guys, after a wonderful shoot, I have the privilege of having lunch, authentic South Indian Keralite lunch, whatever you may want to call it, with Harith. Amidst, it's almost like a forest here. So the environment is like, we are having this luxury of having it inside a forest. You can hear a lot of peacocks, you can hear a lot of, monkeys, primates and all these kind of things. This is rice.
Yeah.
This is big grain rice.
Yeah.
And what is this?
I don't know what's it called. It's just fried like
This is
chilies and
chilies. I love chilies, so this is interesting. And then this is chutney, right here. You have chutney, and this is sabzi of some sort, radish, something like that.
radish and carrot.
Radish and carrot. And one of my favorites, papad. I cannot live without papad. So I think this is a perfect lunch, healthy, home cooked. I never imagined that I would be having home cooked meal so far away from home. And all these spices, Kerala is known for spices, so obviously they have to be spices. So I'm going to enjoy lunch, and it was amazing watching you, Harith. And I hope that a few of the youngsters, they learn something like dedication and commitment and a vision, no matter what you want to do. I mean, not everyone wants to go into Dakar or can go into Dakar, but whatever you want to do in life, commitment and discipline is very important. So is physical and mental health. Anyway, I'll eat, because while eating you don't talk.